All right. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh by Shemi Awashah by Shumri Kakodash. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to the occupants that's pushing the truth and sincerity. And Lord willing, this video will be edifying. I'm going to dive straight to the point. Emphasis, man. I know everybody ecstatic about the impeachment that's going on, all right, with the president, but the ultimate thing is, what about the impeachment of our Lord, man? Yahweh Shah, man. You see? I know that, sometimes the things happen in the carnal, or what we would say in the natural body, all right, to the natural eye, sometimes it tends to have the effect to take away the spiritual things, man. But this is just this spiritual in its own way, all right, because impeachment is no more than an indictment, all right. So just in case if you don't understand what impeachment is, that don't mean that the president is no longer the acting president, all right. He's running for office. I mean, he's still in office as the trial began. All right, so he's being indicted. And of course, we know on an indictment charge, you can be acquitted of all charges. All right, and or proven innocent of. So, as this is a move on the chessboard for Yahweh Shai and the men of in a spiritual act and the acting spiritual men of the earth, man. We understand what's going on, man. All right, this a power piece being moved on the board. Or the Lord to what? Stir up on more and more what? More and more of the upcoming things that's gonna come, man. All right, of the upcoming Satan should be divided against Satan, right? Basically to stir up the things of this world, man, that this kingdom may basically bring itself down, man. You see? But I'm gonna get into some precepts, and Lord willing, it be edifying, man. Just going and basically covering the fact of our Lord, and let's get to understand the impeachment before we move forward. All right, and those of you that are not in the know, all right, this is impeachment. All right, it says impeachment is the process by which a legislative body levels charges against a government official. All right, in this case of what's going on in the current world, all right, is President Trump has been impeached. All right, so charges have been brought up against him. It's nothing more than that. All right, which in society we know on a smaller level. All right, if you've been charged, you go before what? A judge. All right, you can plead what? Guilty or not guilty. All right, a trial is set, and then through the process of the trial, all right, your outcome is determined whether you're guilty or not guilty, which would be your ultimate judgment, which I get, ironically, his ultimate judgment would be being removed from the office as acting president, all right, or whatever bans come under filing, which crimes he committed, all right. But in this case, in this video, we're going to mainly be talking about the impeachment of Yahweh Shah, which is way more important than a Caesar of this world, man. Okay, or Pharaoh, all right, of this world, because this world, and this world has nothing of the prince to come. All right, Salaki, let me get that real quick. Salaki, man. Then I'm gonna read this article. Prince of this world have nothing of me. Salaki. Right, there's John 14:3, and it reads, "Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and had nothing in me," because the prince of this world gonna be cast out, man. So it's basically irrelevant who's running this corporation, because it's nothing more than a business, right, or corporation. But when Yahweh Shah came, he came to carry the government upon his shoulders, man. You see? All right. He came for what? Righteousness to be restored in the earth, man. The restitution of the restitution of he came to correct the wrong, all right, and to restore the righteousness, man. All right. He came to restitute all things until the restitution be. All right. That was his acting job. But guess what, man? He was accused. All right. He was also impeached up on the earth, and we're gonna get into it. But let's finish out the impeachment process with this. Let me finish reading this article, and then we're gonna jump into some precepts. All right, it says the impeachment process by which a legislative body levels charges against a government official. All right, in this case, the House has came up against Trump. All right, so all right, the kangaroo court came up against Yahweh Shah. All right, I'm gonna liken what's currently going on into what had happened already. All right, until Mashiach. It says impeachment does not itself remove the official definitively from office. So, all right, yeah, like you say, our people, yeah, man, Trump gone, as if Trump made a difference, as if Barack Obama made a difference, as if Bill Clinton. It don't matter who is in the office seat, who's in the seat. All right, the corporation gonna still get ran by those that are over those in charge that's in the seat, man. All right, which is what? The upper elites. It says it is similar to an indictment in criminal law. See? And thus it is essentially the statement of charges against the official. So the charges against Yahweh Shah was what? That he blasphemed the name of the Lord. And through the Spirit, I'm going to grab some of them precepts to prove that, man. It says, whereas in some countries the individual is provisionally removed, and others they can remain in office during trial, which with Trump, he's going to remain in office during his trial. All right. Once you read into the specifics of this impeachment trial, all right, it says in others they can remain, or salaki. Once an individual is impeached, they must then face the possibility of conviction on the charges by a legislative vote, which is separate from the impeachment, but flows from it, and a judgment which convicts the official on the articles of impeachment entails the official's definitive removal from office, which he gonna get removed from office. But guess what? It's the acting plans of the elites, man. If he do get removed, or if he remain in the seat, man. All right, it's the cause what? Chaos, man. All right, ever since Trump been in office, pay attention, man. Use your spiritual binoculars to see that it's been nothing but chaos, man. All right, whether there's in these other with these other countries, all right, it's been Trump just flabbergasting on every time he's speaking. All right, speaking about people dead husbands. All right, it's just been a braiding circus, man, with this man. All right, and so your black so-called black president Barack Obama was number what? Peace while he was in office. So pay attention to the way things are strategically set up, man. You see? But it says, because impeachment and conviction of officials involve an overturning of the normal constitutional procedures by which individuals achieve high office, election, ratification, or appointment, and because it generally requires a supermajority, they are usually reserved for those deemed to have committed serious abuse of their office, which they're claiming against Trump, the accusations they're bringing up against Trump. All right. It says in the United States, for example, impeachment at the federal level is limited to those who may have committed treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. All right. So I'm going to get to the point. All right. I'm going to get to the point here and grab some precepts. All right. So now, all right, I just showed you the guidelines and the stipulations upon impeachment. All right. So now you got the understanding of impeachment. All right. Let's dive into some of the precepts. Salaki. I'll leave it on now. Dive into some of these precepts. Understanding what happened to our Lord Mashiach, man, because remember, not only was our Lord impeached, but he was also wrongly convicted and also ultimately put to death. You see? But guess what? the kings that reign in this world, all right, they have the right to do whatever it is they want, man. Because like you say, the Republicans and the senators, I mean, and the Republicans and the Democrats, believe it or not, they really one party, man. Contrary to popular belief, man. All right, they one acting house. But let's get some precepts once again. Salak, I know I've been rambling. I get to my points, but this Sirach 26:5. We're gonna go to the Sirach 26:5. It says, "There be three things that mine heart feareth, and for the fourth I was so afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false acquisition. All these are worse than death." All right, so the slandering of a city, which Yahushua came, what Jerusalem. We know Jerusalem is a people before a place. All right, he came with what, the Holy Land. All right, with him also, and they slandered that city. It says the gathering together of an unruly multitude. All right, those that came up against Yahushua, because I'm gonna make this about our Lord, because the integrity of our Lord is record, is mandated on record. All right, what he had to endure through trial. All right, this is gonna be a phase. That trial is that Trump is going through his trial. All right, so the significance of importance of why I'm bringing this video out is to have our Lord on trial, man. All right, to put back in the remembrance, to stir up to stir up your pure minds. All right, of remembrance to where our big brother was on trial, man. You see, and while we ought to focus on the spiritual, how be it that which is spiritual than that which is natural, man. You see, okay. So it says, the gathering of an unruly multitude and a false acquisition. Now let's key in on that false acquisition, all right? Because the people of this earth, I'm getting a Habakkuk real quick, all right? All they do is declare unrighteous decrees, all right? This Habakkuk 1:4. It says, "Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment do it never go forth. For the wicked do it compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded." You see? So wrong judgment proceeded, man. False accusers, man. All right. False accusations was brought up against our Lord that he could be beaten, spit on, all right, punched, all right, laughed at, pissed on, all right, made ashamed, buck naked, crowns of thorns on his head, man. You see? What about that impeachment that was brought up against our Lord with no true credible witnesses, man, or evidence against him, man? Come on, man. That's the greatest. His death and impeachment is the greatest thing history ever, that the weight of history can hold, man. All right. Every history know about, even in this campaign, and when they talking about with Trump, they mention about the impeachment of Yahushua, man. All right. Because that impeachment still being talked about over 2,000 years now, man. You see? And wrong judgment go for it, man. Okay? And we understand the rules of what it is you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be making judgment. All right? This 2 Corinthians 13:1. It says, "This is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established," man. All right. So the things that they brought up against Yahushua, all right, it says, "In the amount of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established." All right. Now let's jump into the accounts. Well, with Yahushua, and I'm also grab a couple of with Paul. Well, he was on, basically charges was brought up against him. You see? All right. We'll start in what? Matthew 26 And like I said, I'm going to be jumping around, so bear with me. I ain't going to read the full account. I'm going to just get to the points for the sake of time. All right. So this Matthew 26 and 59 is reading, now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahweh to put him to death. So they sought false witness against Yahweh. I just read in Sirach that what the Lord hate, man, is a what? A false witness, man. And I just read to you like 2 or 3 witnesses, right? It says, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet they found none. At the last came 2 false witnesses, man. All right. That basically lied on them and said, this fellow said, all right, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days. All right. And it says, and the high priest arose and said unto him, answereth thou none? What is which these witnesses against thee? All right. So 2 false witnesses came, man. All right. I'm going to jump down to 65. It says, then the high priest rent his clothes, saying he had spoken blasphemy. Well, I'm going to read all the way to 65. Salaki. It said, but Yahweh held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God that thou tell us whether thou be the Mashiach, the son of Yahweh. Hey, by him holding your peace. Now, don't they tell you and I think when you getting arrested that you got the right to remain silent. All right. So since he was remaining silent, all right, they charged him for that, man. All right. If silence is golden, all right, in this part of y'all constitution, how come y'all will break y'all will do an unrighteous decree just to basically to find a guy guilty, man. All right. To rid him of his innocence. Y'all will go to the own breaking of your own constitution, man, to rid a man of his innocence. It says, Yahweh shall say unto him, thou hast said. So he said, he didn't say he said anything. He says, nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of the heaven, which is almighty true, man. All right. Through Yahweh, man. The words of Yahweh shall not return unto him void, man. All right. And he's a witness unto his words that he created, man. All right. And also the whole host of heaven witness his words, man, when he speak it, man. You see? It says, then the high priest rent his clothes, saying he had spoken blasphemy. Well, wait a minute. He's lying he's bearing false witness, man. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now we have heard this blasphemy. Wow. Let me see something real quick. Exodus 20:16 says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Well, Selaki. I was looking for something in particular. All right, I was looking for something in particular, but that's not it's no need to wear no duh. All right, so lock it, though, man. But yeah, man. So they bear false witness. You're not supposed to bear false witness, and guess what? They bear false witness against Yahweh Shah, man. You see? Remember, all in acts to basically get him to what? Just to get him persecuted and put to death, man, wrongfully. You see? But this Matthew 27:1, it says, when the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahweh to put him to death. I'm gonna, like, for the sake of time, I'm gonna jump around. I'm gonna jump to 13, 12, and it reads, and when he had accused, well, he asked once again, it says in 12, and when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. All right, so he's not convicting himself. He's not saying anything. All right, he's not even answering nothing. All right, so what charge can you hold against him now? All right, it says, then said Pilate unto him, hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? All right, yeah, so what, man? But where's your evidence, man? You see, we already know that they banned false witness. It says, and he answered him never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. So he still never answered them a word. All right. So they went on. I'm gonna jump down to 19. Like I said, you can read the account for yourself for the sake of time. All right. And this is an account where they was accusing Yahushua to be brought up before the governors and put to death. All right. Basically, the trial, his trial, man, of impeachment. All right. He was being impeached right here, man, by the wicked, man. All right. By the governors and the counselors. But this Matthew 27 and 18, and it reads, for he knew that for envy they had delivered him. So and at this point, Pilate knew that they for envy they had delivered him. All right. With Pilate knowing that this impeachment, he had the power to call down the impeachment. You see? All right. That's why his hands is going to be in it as well. Because he had the power to say, look, this man is innocent. Let him go. Matter of fact, we're going to read an account. It says, when he was set down on a judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have thou nothing to do with that just man? All right. So even his wife, his woman, all right, said, don't have nothing to do with this just man. Meaning what, man? Cancel the impeachment, man. You see? Nevertheless, or moreover, you know, to what? Don't involve yourself in some a false accusation against a just man. It says, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. So it was a vision laid unto his wife, and he still didn't take heed, man. All right. But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushua. What, man? Forward the affliction, forward the impeachment, man. All right. Rather than hearing the case of the cause and judging rightfully, man. All right. They care nonetheless to what? Help put them to death, man. But this 23 and 24, it says, and the governor said, why, what evil had he done? But they cried out more, saying, let him be crucified. Well, you can't call for a man's head, all right, if he didn't commit anything. You see? But remember, we're in a unjust, all right, what an unjust place with an unjust king, with with unrighteous decrees being set, man, daily. All right. They forecast grievousness, man. Salaki 23 and 24. All right, let me get an account with furthermore to prove that you can't just up and take a man. All right, you got to have an account. The scriptures tell you that, man. This Acts 25 and 16, and it reads, "15, and it says, about whom when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priest," this dealing with Paul, all right, "about whom when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priests and the elders of the Jews informed me, desiring to have judgment against him." All right, now remember, you got to have in order to have judgment for a man, he got to have been committed crimes. It says, to whom I answered, it is not the manner of the Romans to deliver any man to die before that he which is accused have the accusers face to face and have license to answer for himself concerning the crime laid against him, man. And you know why Yahushua said nothing? Because there was nothing to say. He had committed nothing. He had done nothing. You see? So Akim, man, when we get impeached, all right, and brought before these counselors and judges, man, all right, understand that this impeachment is a trial of your fate, man. All right. Which would the impeachment on Yahweh Shah was a trial of his fate also, man. All right. So impeachment is not more than a trial of your fate. And trust me, it's coming on the men of the Lord, man. All right. As surely as it is coming, it came on our big brother, it would definitely come to us, man. All right. Read that again. Acts 25-16. It says, to whom I answered, it is not the manner of the Romans to deliver any man to death, before that he which is accused have the accusers face to face, and have license to answer for himself concerning the crime laid against him. Just like when Yahweh Shah, and you know it's right that accusers are face to face or they presence. When Yahweh Shah, when a lady, the accusers and the accusations brought against the lady that committed adultery, all right, the men came and told Yahweh Shah that the lady committed adultery, but they didn't bring the men that committed adultery with her. All right. So Yahweh Shah knew right there, all right, why the men, if this lady is accused of adultery, why the men that she committed adultery with is not with her? Because guess what? They got to get put to death also, man. That's how you knew that was a what? A false accusation brought up, man. All right. Because in a trial, not only do you have to have the evidence, and you got to have the witnesses, man. You see? But this 17, it says, therefore, when they were come hither without any delay on the morrow, I sat on the judgment seat and commanded the man to be brought forth, against whom, when the accuser stood up, they brought none accusation of such things as I suppose. All right. So if a man is in your court and you the judge, all right, let's play the judge, all right, in the case of this impeachment of the Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Let's say you was the judge, man. All right. Any of you behind, that's listening to this video. All right. If the accusers brought no accusations of the things that you heard, or when it was time to present evidence, they couldn't display any. All right. From that point forward, all right, you have to consider all the alternatives in the case that no evidence is presented towards this man. So his innocence, all right, is what? His innocence is on display. All right. A man guilty of crimes, the evidence will be on display against him, man. Trust me. If the prosecutor have evidence to display, man, to the judge, that's gonna be the first thing they come out with, because that's vital to what? Cracking the case, man. All right. It says, but had certain questions against him of their own superstition, and of one Yahweh Shah, which was dead, whom Paul affirmed to be alive. You see? So even with in his, he was wrongfully accused, even with Paul saying that Yahweh Shah was alive, man. All right. Let me jump to 27 real quick. This Acts 20, and like I say, I've been kind of rambling, so I'm gonna get to the point and end it off. All right, but this Acts 25 and 27, it says, for it seemed to me unreasonable to send a prisoner, and not withal to signify the crimes laid against him. So why is a man first as a prisoner? Why you a prisoner and the crimes laid against you basically is in jeopardy. All right. Or no criminal act a witness can basically lay against you, man. All right. Like you said, it take much integrity to have your innocence publicized, where your innocence public your innocence, to have your innocence on display as criminal, you being criminalized basically for your innocence almost, man. All right. It take great integrity, man. A man of what? Great faith, man. Okay. But let me get this and get out of here, man. This revelation. Cause it's always a what? For everything that happened, there's a what? There's an action that's coming behind it, man. This Revelation 12 and 10, and it reads, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of the Mashiach Yahushua. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night, man. You see? So these are the accuser of our brethren, man, which accused our big brother Yahushua, man. All right? Impeached them. All right? Wrongfully beat him. Man. All right, till he was mauled beyond measure. All right, so it was a great, it was a great, it was so, the impeachment was so great against our Lord, man. Today it was documented in history, man, as the greatest impeachment on the planet Earth, man. All right, so once again, we gonna have to endure this process, Akim. All right, we gonna be impeached, man. Okay. I was trying to get the yeah, this Isaiah 53 and 7. So when we get impeached and persecuted for the name of the Lord, all right, because he that departed from iniquity make it itself a prey. You see? So we gonna get judged for that, man. Not judged, but guess what, man? They gonna come up against us for that, man. You see? But this Isaiah 53 and 7, this is what you gotta do, man. It says he was oppressed, and it's talking about Yahweh Shai, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth, man. All right, because guess what? You know, whether we say something or we go to the slaughter as a sheep, man. Either or, all right. The words, the Lord gonna give us the strength in that day to have the words of what to say and what not to say. It says he was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. You see? So he went as a lamb to the slaughter, man. You know? And that's the way, you know, you want to go out, man. All right? You want to be a soldier for the Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, man. That those behind you can believe your report, man. You see? And that you died honorably with a memorial, man. All right? So, like I say, man, you know, this just through the spirit, you know, what's going on, you know, with the impeachment of the president, man. What about the impeachment of our Lord, man? You see? But with that, man, you know, until the next time, I want to say shalom.